good with it? It's your boy, Simon Phoenix. This is Shots Fired. What up, what up, what up? So, I had a lot on my mind. And, you know, if you're listening to this show, then you know that there's probably going to be some problems if I have a lot on my mind, since I'm not that bright. All jokes aside, though, because it was, or is, I should say, Black History Month, I've been having a lot of things make me think, make me wonder, right? You know, remember when Arsenio Hall used to be like, things that make you go, I've been having that kind of moment. And I've had a couple people ask me, was I watching any of the things that normally happen during Black History Month? You get a Malcolm X documentary. You might get something on Muhammad Ali. Might get a Marcus Garvey thrown in there. Something to that extent, right? And then everything else is like, yo, the best of Eddie Murphy or something or other. So I normally be like, you know, I'm normally doing my black guy, black people supporting thing all the time. So I'm not really, you know, going to watch my 193 times somebody made a Malcolm X documentary. I'm not really interested. Nothing against Malcolm X. He's one of my heroes, but I don't want to watch that. Gonna make me angry. And I know a lot of my black listeners can relate to that. And, you know, for it to be Black History Month, I get a lot of slave conversation. That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't put me in a good place. That doesn't make me want to be a good person towards white America, because it makes you feel like it's their fault why all the bad shit has happened to blacks. And some of it is true, but not all. And you can't get over that kind of psychological pain by saying, I hate white people that I just met because they're white. That's not racist, but you know what it is. It still makes you bold business, bad, out of pocket. So I try to, you know, stay away from it. I do my best to be like, I ain't about to watch all that. I try to promote the other end of Black History Month. You know, let's talk about the inventors. Let's talk about our contributions to society as a whole. How do we make the rest of the planet better? What did we do to do that? And so I have been an advocate for those people. But a friend of mine asked me, what was my thoughts on being a black male? What did it mean to me? And so I got to search in my soul as I'm sitting back watching a Malcolm X documentary that somebody was like, yo, they got a good one on Netflix. You got to go check that out, bro. They chopping it up about who could have killed him, and that's kind of interesting. It's been a guy chasing him down for years. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. I'm going to see what you're talking about, right? So as I'm watching this documentary and I'm enjoying myself, I'm saying, okay, this is confirming some of my thoughts, some of the things that I thought as a person, that the more I watched and sit back and thought about it, and the more I listened to them discuss what being a black Muslim in America was about, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying, and what he was inspiring within young black males, particularly, made me go back to my friend's question of, what does it mean to be a black male, right? And I've always thought that being a black male is such a complex thing. It's such a strange existence. You are trapped in a lot of boxes that you don't personally control. What I mean by that is that if you are well-spoken, articulate, you are a lot of times seen as a cornball because you don't represent the street slang completely, right? Then on the other hand, if you are completely street, you are considered a thug, a hooligan, bad for society. As a black man, you must walk the fine line of being strong, but you don't have the luxury that a lot of other males have to be manly all the time, because the stigma of you being an angry black male, volatile person is always around you. I often have conversations with people who say that, they want to compare the struggles of those people who pick to live alternative lifestyles, whether you're gay, whether you're lesbian, whether you're trans, you're gender. And I always say to them, I get it. I understand what it would be like to have people treat you based off of an idea of you, right? But I also say to them, the difference is I can't play the game. And they go, what? And I go, yes, I can't play the game. I can't play along with y'all because I can't take being black off. It doesn't remove. I'm chocolate all the time. The only thing that sets me apart is when I start to speak. When I start talking, when I let my personality shine through, am I different? Until that happens, I am just another black male. So it takes me back to that thought of, well, what is that like? Well, it depends on the day of the week. Sometimes being a black male is the greatest thing ever. You ever walked into a building and you are the idea of the sex symbol. What I mean by that is when I was stationed in Japan as a United States Marine, what I learned is that there are places in the world where I am the chosen fruit for the women. I am the ideal of what they're looking for. So being a black male, I walked into these spots and I was being chosen by all the women in the room. That is a powerful feeling, especially coming from America and having that same thinking happen on a racist level. I've walked into a room full of white people, have the room shut down, quiet, birds chirping. I've had it happen. I've been in places where I walked in and they was like, oh my God, one of these niggas done walked in. Literally said it like that. One of these niggas done walked in. What? Huh? I've had it happen. So to have it happen in a way where I was being overly accepted was special. That a lot of times you carrying the weight of being a black male is, like I said, dependent on the day of the week. My white friends will never know the kind of scare that you have when you're being pulled over and compared to everybody else on the planet. It is a totally different experience being a black male and being pulled over. Black men instantly know that I'm not about to be moving around a whole lot. Doesn't matter if I have a warrant. Doesn't matter if I have my firearm on the car. Doesn't matter if I got bricks in the trunk. Doesn't matter. Does not matter what you got going on, good or bad. You ain't trying to do a whole lot when you get pulled over. Because it could escalate very, very fast. You don't want that to happen. Because it escalating can end up with you in a predicament, with you in a situation where, for us, when those sirens are on, what you really hear is this in the background. Because you are wondering if you are about to have your brains loosened all over the seat. And most of America doesn't have that fear. And the reason I know that is because I used to listen to comedians tell jokes about being pulled over when they're with their white friends, and their white friends would do some shit that you as a black person would never do. And that was extremely funny. But I also was like, man, that's the truest shit ever. Every time I've ever been pulled over with a white friend as the driver, they don't give a shit. They don't give a damn what the police officer is talking about. Not a damn. The first thing the officer comes, the officer, he roll down your window, lights and registration, please. And they will look and be like, why you put me over? I'm looking at him like, man, you about to get us killed. We are about to be murdered because you are talking crazy to the police officer. And they proceed to talk to the police officer with a continued attitude that is escalating the whole time. Officer, I need to see your badge number because I know you got to give it to me. So go on and give me that badge number. I'm about to write it down. Pull out my phone. Yes, I'm videotaping you because I need to know because you are acting tough. I was looking at him like, oh my God, I can't believe this. You are talking reckless to the police officer. This is crazy. But it happens, right? And for black men who listen to this show, they're going to be like, nah, bro, not for us. And nah, bro. For my Latin friends, nah, bro, nah. We don't even do it like that. You're on your best behavior if you got any sense whatsoever. You are not talking crazy to the police officer when you get pulled over. You can have no license and be like, yes, officer, you're going to tell the best lie you could think of why you ain't got no license when you behind the wheel. Even with drugs and guns, you act like you got some sense. Because we all know that it's possible that tonight could be the night that you have your brains loosened from your body. And I know it might be harsh for some people to hear this, but you know anything about blacks in America, then you know that this is a possibility, right? And every single black person I know has had a get pulled over situation that was bogus. Everyone. That's how we all know. That's how we all relate to it because we all have seen it. Whether you was in the car and your friend got pulled out and put on the hood and they talked to him crazy and patted him down like they just knew he had the dope on him and he's the nicest, corniest guy you know in the crew. Yep, it happened. Where you just seen him jump out the car and they don't even ask the questions in the right order. They just yelling and screaming. We've seen it. So that is one of those levels of things where you're just like, as a black man, it's one of the things that for everybody else, they might not ever understand what that's like. They don't know what it's like to be followed in a public place because people assume you're on your criminal activity. Now, I've been living long enough to know that criminals come in every color, race, shape, size there is. Doesn't matter who you is, they got some criminals. It's like drug addicts. Everybody got some drug addicts in every culture because it goes along with humanity as a whole. It is a character flaw, not a race. But I guarantee you a lot of my white listeners have never had that happen. Never had someone do that to them, you know. And so it is part of my black guy that I find myself in those situations a lot of times. It's, you know, it's when black people will tell you, like, a lot of times before there was a lot of shooters and stuff, before we had a lot of people who got fired at their job or something crazy happened, before that happened, where it was starting to happen frequently, black people were the main people getting escorted out of buildings when they got fired. Like, white people got fired and they went home and then they acted crazy, and that's why people need to be escorted. But black people, they were just like, we're nervous that you might go off right now. And as a black man, if you've ever had one of those incidents, you be in your mind thinking like, man, I'm not going to jail for yelling at you. Because that's what would happen. Like, it's always going to be taken to the next level with you. So you're like, I'm not going to catch that case. You're not going to get me on. I yelled at them at the top of my lungs and I went to jail. Nah, son. Nah, not going. No, no, no. But it is all of these things, right? It's all of these things as a greater idea that makes up being a black man. And listening to someone like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and seeing the time period and what was going on, I could totally understand why people gravitated towards that idea. The idea that I get to be a man, that just get to stand strong with my head held high. That idea is alluring. It's magical to a man. Because life comes and kicks you and pushes you down, and you can get up and brush yourself off, and it go off again, and you have something else happen and something else happen, and you're always moving around so you can not have these things happen. And what you come to understand, what you come to see, is that as a black man in America, that you are always under the gun. That you will always be under the microscope. You will always be the person that everyone else is paying attention to. And that's kind of the burden that comes with being a black guy, right? When I talk to my friends about this, and I have friends that are in Black America, friends in white America, friends in Latin America, and we have man talk and we discuss things behind closed doors, and they're looking at me and I give them some truth, right? I say, it's hard out here being a black guy. Like, y'all be laughing, but it be rough. And then they be like, well, how so? And I go into what I just went into with you guys. I explain all of that to them and they go, damn, like that all the time? Yeah. Yeah. It's strange to be a black male in the world I live in, that you as a black male, when you have conversation with black females, and the first idea for some of them, not all, by any means, not all, is to instantly assault your character. Anytime that you disagree, it's time to assault your manhood, your sexuality, something like that. It's hard to bite your tongue all the time because your mama taught you better. That many of black males have had a conversation about women being ultra aggressive in conversations with them because they know that we've been trained to keep our hands to ourselves. And that because we're always seen in the villain role, a lot of people abuse that power against us. When I explain it to my friends, they're like, really? I'm like, bro, I'm the nicest guy you know of, right? Like, I have never put my hands on a woman. Never. And I've had more encounters with women trying to assault me in my lifetime than I ever would have it imagined. I've had more knives pulled on me than guns. I'm former military, by the way. So that should kick in to be like, what? Like, really? Like, yes, really. I've had this happen. And so when I discuss that with people, when I have that as a conversation, when I bring that up, they're like, wow, I can't believe that. And I'm like, yeah, man. And I've had conversation with other black males, and, that's kind of the vibe that we've all been through it. We've all been abused by someone based off the fact that we're black males and that we're playing a game against our image. because we're all striving to be the image of a decent human being, because the images that society says is that we're thugs, pimps, criminals, that we can't keep our hands to ourselves, crazy sex monsters, and that we have contributed nothing to society. That's the image that's normally given out. Oh, they can play sports till they do something stupid. That's about as good as it's gonna get. They can rap, they can dance. As a black male, you know that there's more to it than that, right? You know that you are bigger and better than what the media, the society, what everyone else thinks you're about. You know you better than that. And so I look out over the masses of men that I've met in my lifetime that happen to be black males. And I know that I'm looking at greatness. I'm looking at guys who are fathers, married, got lovely homes, beautiful wives, great kids, right? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at dudes that are single fathers that's holding it down, doing all the things that society say that we're not doing. I'm looking at the stats and saying, it's at least 50% of us that's not out here making kids for no reason or being clowns. And so I say to myself that at the end of the day, we as black men are making our magical push. That what it means to me to be part of that group, to be making that magical push, is something special. To know that men like Malcolm, Martin, that those that opened the door to make us say, oh, we could. That the guys that came and gave us to say, hey, here's what militant looks like Huey P., to make us say that, oh, I can be masculine, but I can still give back. To those black men who stood before us and said, we are more than just brawn. We are brains. That those of us that are scientists, those that are writers, the Langston Hughes of the world, that these men showed me what it is like to be a black man. That for me personally, I am happy that my father was there in my life to show me what a man would look like. That my heroes were there for me. The Malcolm X's, the Georges. There's so many black men named George, I could go on for an hour. But that there were so many examples of greatness within Black America that as a man, I could find what my father always told me to do. Find a mentor in what you would like to do and model yourself after him. Make changes that make you better, but look at them as if they were the blueprint. So as a black man, I say that I am extremely proud to be one, that I know that the struggle, the hustle, the grind is different for us than everybody else. And when we succeed, it makes me smile on the inside because I know what you went through to get there. When I now watch documentaries, when I now watch movies, when I now watch anything pertaining to us, I smile because I know that the rest of the world surely will see our greatness. That we have risen above the idea of the petty criminal. That we have now gotten past the visual of the average thug. That we are more than that. And so it brings me joy now to watch great black men more than it ever had before. And I think what it is I think I'm coming to grips with the idea that as much as you down yourself, that I have found within me that I am great too. That I am on the right path. That I am striving to be the better, the best, the ultimate version of myself. And with that being said, me being a black man means the same as it might mean for so many other men on the planet. That I will stand for what I believe in. I will protect those that are in my circle. And I will continue to be a pillar within my community. Because to me, that is what manhood is about, no matter who you are. Well, this has been one of those, I just needed to get in, drop a show. So I figured I would, give y'all my thoughts on manhood, what I thought about it, and kind of wrap it up in the Black History Month because, it's important for you to know when you're not black what someone could be going through or what they could be thinking. I think that's good game. So I try to drop that. We're gonna get DJ Blaze in the building. I need to talk about that mix CD he got. So that's what we're gonna be doing very, very soon. I'm assuming that's probably gonna be the next show. I do got something special coming down the pipeline though. Something lovely coming down the pipeline that I believe that it is going to be the kick the door down interview. I'm not gonna give no info, but what I am gonna say is that this is going to be something that's going to make a lot of guys be like, "Ooh, really?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, buddy. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be gangster. It's gonna be good as an interview." So that's just me. That's just my thinking about it. Well, I have been trying of late to, bless y'all with some local hip hop artists that are doing their thing in these here streets. So, gonna play one of my favorite guys right now. Gonna slide out to some Alfie the Great. I've been your boy Simon Phoenix. Alfie the Great is the artist. American Made is the song. Holla at your boy.
I was hoping, searching, looking for something just to do. What did I do? Trying to find a way to the problems that I've been through. I don't know what I'm going through. Gotta do more. Come on. We gotta do more. They get these kids off the streets. They did it to me just like they did it to me. They claiming we menace, and they the ones who's crossing the street. I learned from day one. Ain't no trust in the thief. The system's rigged. Ain't no change in the game. They take our rights, put us in jail, then they turn us to slaves. Gave my grandma Jesus, now she pray for a change. Don't take a genius, just see that it's strange. They give us the dope and got us clinking a hope. I'm in jail sharing showers, thinking I'll drop the soap. Smoking weed, drinking liquor, finding vices to cope. Protect and serve, but I'm knowing they won't. Chase by the drugs, then they wanna paint us as thugs. Doing years of my life, can't get my mama a hug. Any corner that they cut, they sweep it under the rug. They want our freedom, even if they take it in blood.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
It's the routine, stopping till my brother get killed. The laws don't apply, they just do what they feel. Open carry if you wanna, you can keep it concealed. They spot a weapon in your blood, it gets spilled. If you claiming you black, you ain't got no rights. You make a move, then they taking your life. Supposed to be trained, but I think they play it by ear. They should choose a different job since they dealing with fear. Crazy cause they'll never have to live what we live. Even though we numb, they can never feel what we feel. Brothers killing brothers, the judges kill us on papers. They see our skin and automatically hate us. Scared to embrace us. It's like a nigga's contagious. Minor mistakes seem to turn into majors. Over sentence in the court, nothing seems to fall in our favors. Prison yard or plantations, they just use us for labor.